when was the last time you ate or had someone cook for you? That could have been possibly one of your parents, your helper, or even the cook that serves you lunch every day at school. Now, the reason why I ask you this is because we humans are the only species who cook. Back when we discovered fire and hunted, it has been a very basic yet essential part of our lives. It allowed us to survive not only by making our food taste better, but by making it easier to digest and extract nutrients as well. And it was never something that was questioned. If you're hungry, you either look for something that was safe to eat or starve to death. Yet, here we are now, 1.8 million years in the future, with the boom of the food industry. There are now restaurants, supermarkets, and delivery services serving pre-prepared meals. Cooking has become an afterthought for a lot of people, and that is because for the majority of folks above poverty, food is extremely accessible nowadays, with convenience stores available at almost every corner, and restaurants serving a wide array of cuisines left and right. We're spoiled for choice, and we've never been so privileged to be able to choose what we want to eat. Home cooking, on the other hand, can be considered a privilege for those who have the time, money, and space to do so. The list of tools and equipment that you need nowadays is so extensive that it's likely to discourage anyone who's just starting out. At the very least, one would need a cutting board, knife, pots and pans of various surfaces and sizes, some other stuff, and pantry essentials. All that can add up to a staggering sum that not a lot of people are lucky enough to have at their disposal. Even if you did have all the things you need, you still have to spend the time going through the process of learning how to prepare a dish from start to finish, go through the process of preparing it all anxiously while looking back at the recipe over and over again, in constant fear of screwing up. In an environment where it's hot and cramped, with not enough counter space to work on, where hours later, you'll end up with an end product that looks nothing like what you're hoping for. Not to mention, the mess you made. As a result, when I asked my peers as to why they don't cook at home, the response is quite naturally and understandably, why should I? Why bother spending the extra time and effort myself when I can get someone else to do it for me? We live in a world where it costs the same amount of money to buy the raw, unprocessed ingredients as it is to buy the end product where someone has cooked it for us. It's mind-boggling. Personally, if someone were to ask me as to why I choose to cook at home, it's because it's fun, enjoyably challenging, and the food I serve bring other people joy. And I know that there will be at least a few of you who disagree, but hear me out. Food involves you taking seemingly insignificant ingredients and transforming it all into something that looks stunning, smells and tastes amazing, and can give you nourishment. The fact that you're able to take these simple ingredients and transform them into this beautifully unique piece of edible art, it's magical. It's important to realize that we need to be prepared to be able to serve ourselves. Considering the fact that thousands of restaurants around the world have shut down due to the recent pandemic, sooner or later, you need to be able to put your own food on the table. And that might seem daunting at first, but believe me, once you have a basic sense of hows and whys of cooking, it can be a really fun journey to embark on. Taking just a few steps back to reflect on this supposed chore of cooking, I believe that's a great way for you to learn about not only yourself, but the world around you too. Look beyond the lengthy recipes, messy counters, and oily countertops. Food is the universal language that we all speak. It's one that connects us all that no other medium can. I was born and raised in Jakarta, Indonesia, and despite not having back home for quite some time, there are certain foods that remind me of home, like nasi goreng, or fried rice, for instance. Even though the things we made at home were never authentic per se, the smell of shallots, garlic, shrimp paste, and chilies being cooked always brought me back, reminding me of where I came from. There are stories being told when you're eating foods made by real people and not by corporations. You learn about who they are, where they come from, the things they grew up on, what they like or dislike, their identity, their food identity. One of my earliest memories in the kitchen was from when I was a kid. I was always looking forward to breakfast, as my parents would always make me scrambled eggs on toast. As I grew older, so did my appetite, and naturally, I would always ask for more and more servings. Instead, They showed me how I can make my own breakfast. And not long after, I was almost cooking every weekend. Things started off plain and simple. Bread smeared with butter on both sides, cooked on the hard surface of a pan, with a side of cooked eggs that were seasoned, beaten, and stirred into submission. Once I got comfortable with that, I made French toast. Sliced bread soaked in a rich and creamy egg mixture, cooked gently on both sides until the surfaces were brown. Then I tried making sunny-side-up eggs, soft-boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs, over-easy eggs. I even tried a few omelets here and there. Now, hopefully, as you can see, it's amazing how much you can learn from one simple ingredient. There are many subtleties that I had to get used to early on, but once I got past that, it was a very fun journey to go on. Fast forward a few years, and I'm beginning to make friends. See, growing up, I've always been rather timid and had a hard time making real connections with people. But I didn't know how to bake, so for the longest time, I remember going back home and spending my evenings baking large batches of cookies or brownies whenever there was a special event going on. It doesn't matter if it was a friend's birthday, class party, or even athletics day. I would always be coming in with large containers filled with sweet treats, and I'll be passing them out all day long until nothing remained. I was notorious for it. People came and gladly accepted my offer. Some shared me their thanks and regards, while others gave me their feedback, saying how much better these would have been if they were softer, chewier, and more chocolatey. And soon after, without even realizing, I was tweaking my recipe through trial and error, learning that, oh, over-baking for a minute or two can lead to a denser or bitter aftertaste. I should swap out vegetable oil for cold butter to result in a more delicate product. Maybe swap out chocolate chips for more bittersweet, irregular-sized chunks. That'll create a better contrast in flavor and texture. Maybe add a little pinch of cinnamon, espresso powder, even salt. That'll amplify the alluring flavor and taste even more. Thanks to these treats, I've managed to cultivate a wide connection of people and friends. Call me a people pleaser, but to this day, one of my favorite feelings is when people appreciate the food you make. It's such a rewarding thing to do, and it's what makes the painstaking effort so worth it. Looking back at my years of cooking, I believe that's been my main motivation as to why I continue to pursue this grueling career as a chef. I not only want to feed people who are hungry, but also bring them smiles and remind them of their long-lost memories. I don't intend this on being a speech that instantly inspires you to start cooking immediately, but I sure hope that I've allowed you to look at cooking from a different point of view. Anyone can cook as long as they're willing to try. Start small and start simple. Stay curious, and remember, keep playing with your food. Thank you.